Hey guys, prescription for living a happy, healthy, great life. I'm not going to talk about, there are 5 parts, not going to talk about parts 2 through 5, which are basically get the heck out of the training practice, get out of the gym setting, go live a great life. But we're talking about inside of the training practice, training 2 to 3 times a week, getting your general physical preparedness up. So what do we have here? We're going to talk a little bit about gymnastics today. And really before, and this is very true for our adult setting, our adult population, anybody in their 30s and over, about 99% of the time they come to us and they're just like severely lacking in mobility, severely lacking in the joint prep phase of things before we can even get into like some just basic level gymnastics work. So people tend to want they want to get right into things, right? And they want it like tomorrow, I've got 6 weeks. And usually that's not the case because the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's like, hey, your body didn't get this way, over just a course of a couple weeks. Whether that's you're in the shape that you want to be in or you're not. So there's usually years and decades of abuse that we see from our folks that are coming in and really just like desk work and not being as active as we'd like to be, and that's why we exist and we're here to help. But if you really want your best effort, you got to be patient here. You've got to like just take the long road. Come in 2 to 3 times a week. Work these things out. Definitely qualify and get your mobility, your flexibility, and prepare the joints properly so that when we do want to hit it hard, we actually can. So most adults, they just come to us. They're just severely compromised in their mobility. The calves and the ankles are just like so tight from sitting all day long. The knees don't work real well. The hips are just kind of locked. Core isn't really firing the way that we would like it to. Thoracic spine is kind of locked down. We've got to see a lot of this action. The shoulders aren't as mobile. So, hip flexors are super tight once again from all the sitting. We get really like junky elbows, and then even from a lot of the desk work, in here, we just get really tight forearms. So we've got to take time to prepare the joints properly for some of the things that we may want to do. You may want to go on like a pretty rough hike or go skiing or, potentially, I don't know, go like to the rock climbing gym, play with your kids, play with your grandkids. And hopefully you want to play with them and one, be able to play with them, two, be able to play with them over the weekend and then not have to call in to work on Monday and Tuesday because you're so sore and tired and obviously not injure yourself. So what we're trying to do, when we're getting into handstands and we're doing some like L-sits and just even deep squats, we're not doing any advanced stuff. This is not anything. Your body, if you look at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olds, these are natural ranges of motion. We're just trying to get you back to these natural ranges of motion before we start kind of loading you up with some of the other stuff. So you see this hierarchy, dial in your nutrition. That's I put lifestyle there as well, like sleep, stress, what you're eating, your recovery, metabolic conditioning. Do you have the heart and lung capacity to breathe and not get tired from just 10 minutes of work? Then we have our gymnastics work, manipulating your own body weight, being able to control your own body weight before we control external resistance in the form of weightlifting, and then sport is whatever you want to make it. So it's just really important that, once you hit probably, 20, 25, 30, the further you get away from just being a kid and getting out and, running around, riding your bike, your muscles, they quit using them. The atrophy, they get smaller. They change the way that like the muscles, really the ligaments and the tendons, how they're pulling on things. So it does take time. Like I said, the muscles, the atrophy, they tighten up. We're just trying to get you back to the normal ranges of motion that you have. So please, here's my recommendation: you take the time to prepare the joints properly, working on your mobility. We do a lot of integrated mobility work in between our gymnastics work, in between our barbell work. Super important here. Hopefully you're incorporating this, whether it's at home or in the workplace. And just be patient. Keep showing up 2 to 3 times a week. Be patient. Work on these things first. We'll get you back to like that baseline. Then we can start to do pretty cool things. So hopefully this helps. Make sure that you're talking to your coaches if you need some help. And if not, just come on into the gymnastics class, have fun, and let's help you live a great life. Have a great day.